Max, sorry to see you here. You've got so many fans here today. You had the race in front of you. I know Kimi came and apologised. It looked like you had some kind words for him, but how frustrating has this afternoon been for you?
I was just unlucky, like yesterday in qualifying, but overall, we didn't really have that great pace anyway this weekend. So a lot of learnings for us, how we hopefully can do better next weekend. But yeah, that's of course not an ideal result today.
Yeah, listen, the McLarens do look very strong. They brought an upgrade here. You see Yuki struggling to get out of Q1 at the moment. We see what you're doing with the car. How do you assess what you can achieve in the remaining part of this year? How tough a task is it to fight them?
I mean, we try to do our best always. My mentality doesn't change. We have won a lot in the past. Sometimes you have to accept that you are not winning, and we just try to do the best we can.
Yeah, you've said the championship is not something we should talk about with this DNF and the points you've lost.
Hopefully then people will not mention it too much anymore. So.
Sorry, Max.
No.
Yeah, I saw you and Max talking after the incident. Did you just misjudge the braking point at that turn?
I didn't necessarily brake too late, but it's just when I braked, obviously I braked hard because I was behind other cars, and in that moment I locked the rears. And then I just couldn't stop the car because I locked the rear and then lost the car, and then I had to avoid Lawson. But then it was too late because I was arriving just too quick, because then I started to lock the front, and instead of decelerating, I was accelerating. So the car was just taking speed, and then the crash was inevitable. And I just feel super sorry to the team and to Max, of course, because obviously he was just a passenger.
Yeah, listen, is there a little bit of concern you might pick up a penalty that carries over to Silverstone? I guess you just have to take that on the chin if it comes.
Yeah, no, of course, it's a big mistake, and now we need to move forward and focus on Silverstone. And despite, we'll see if we get a penalty or not, but it's going to be important to get back and to start doing like I did.
Well, listen, congratulations and thanks to you and Lando for giving us great entertainment today, Oscar. Really heated battles, very fair racing as well. Talk us through lap 11. Did you think that was your biggest chance this afternoon?
Yeah, I thought it was. With the DRS here, it's very difficult to know when to go and when not to go. And I felt like the best opportunity for me was into turn 3. Maybe I should have waited one more straight into 4, but very difficult to know in the moment. And tried my best. So that's all I can ask for.
Did you think you were the quickest car out there today? And is that a good thing to reflect upon?
I think the pace was very strong for me today. I don't know, with the blue flags, dirty air, DRS, slipstream, slower pit stop. It's difficult to know what the true pace is, but I think it was very encouraging that I could claw my way back in a little bit towards the end. So, even if it's not a win, a lot of positives from today.
Any complaints about the team? Talking about I think it was the lap 20 move. Is that understandable? It's very difficult to be absolutely cool and calm and measure everything in the heat of battle.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a fair comment. I knew that was a bit risky when it happened, so I think that's fair.
Just a 2-horse race now, or is Max still in it?
I won't count him out, but I think our pace this weekend's been good, so if we can continue that's going to be making life easier for us.
It was quite a fight. You had a good rest before the race. You needed all the energy to get that win.
I did. It was an exciting fight with Oscar. It was tough, especially the first few laps, or first 20 laps. He was pushing a lot, and I think he just had DRS, and then he could get the battery up, and I had to keep using my battery to try and get him out of DRS. So I was in a very, very difficult situation, but managed to always stay ahead, even though I made a couple of mistakes here and there, and he had a couple of opportunities.
Talk us through that. I mean, having to reclaim the lead in effect.
Yeah, around here, it's not like once the overtake's done, it's done. You have plenty of opportunities. The next corner, you can get a good. So I got the perfect switchback out of turn 3. So as long as you position the car in the right place and you put them in in a defensive mode, then you can take advantage of it like I did, So it was, of course, close to losing it. But I stayed ahead, and that was for me the most important. I track position, and it was a tough battle.
Yeah, he got a little call for, I think, the move on lap 20. It's not easy sort of managing and keeping it absolutely clean, I suppose. There's going to be more moments this year. If we've got another 13 rounds, potentially, of this.
Yeah, more than likely. But it is tough.
And it's probably just the two of you now. If Max has not finished today, so
you can say
the focus will be on you.
We'll always still try and win the races and finish first and second. And with how the car was today, was pretty dominant comparing to the rest of the grid. So I would like to think so, but it is. It's tougher than it looks. To place the car perfectly, to not make a mistake, to not lock up. There was some close moments today, but I think all very fair and all acceptable in my opinion. So some good racing between us.
Just finally, how does it set up Silverstone for you?
I mean, perfect. For me, I couldn't ask for a better way to come into my home race and the best race of the year. I'm excited for Silverstone no matter what. But of course, coming in with a win, with some good energy, hopefully gets the fans going a little bit more. So I want to just go to Silverstone now, but at the same time, I would love just 1 or 2 days off first.
Great job this weekend. Lewis, I saw you looking at the timing screens at the end of the Grand Prix today. How were you sort of computing the day? I mean, the big gap to McLaren and everyone else. You seeing the progress from a Ferrari perspective?
Yeah, mega progress for us as a team. So, we have to say a huge thank you to the guys again at the factory for bringing the upgrade this weekend. It didn't seem much on paper. It was really a small step, but perhaps it had a bigger influence on our performance. So for us to be the second fastest team this weekend, we're not a minute down from the McLarens, which is positive, and to back some really strong points. I'm definitely happy with it, for sure. I think from my side, struggling with the balance in the race, just struggling to hold on to that, the pace, and lost a little bit too much ground. But it's something I need to work on. I have a lot of understeer in the low speed and a lot of oversteer in the high speed, so it's like a very, very hard balance to run through a race.
You're holding out for hopefully a safety car. Was that your thinking in the seconds to maybe get you that first podium?
Just to get a bit, just to get me a little bit closer, and just try to see if we can offset. But I knew if we stopped at the same sort of time, the gap would be as it was, and but I'll just keep working at it. I feel like I made progress this weekend. It's less than a tenth of Charles in qualifying, and we found a problem through qualifying with the brakes. So that's where I lost a tenth. So that's a positive. And I just got to find some pace for the race. But just definitely improving.
Yeah, just briefly, I know Fred today. I'm not going to say why, personal reasons he's not here, but a good weekend for him. Good to see him. He'll be pleased with how it's gone this weekend, I'm sure.
I definitely think, for sure. I think everyone in the team will be happier. I think definitely the guys back at the factory can be proud of the work they've done, and I think everyone here has definitely been a lot calmer and more methodical this weekend. Definitely a better output from the team, so I'm really proud to see that.
Congratulations, it's another podium for you. You're pushing and taking as much as you can from this season. Is it a weekend of progress for Ferrari despite the gap that still exists to McLaren?
We are working in the right direction. I think we've brought some upgrades this weekend, which helps us to close a little bit the gap. The gap is still significant, unfortunately, and we've got to push in order to bring as many upgrades as possible, as soon as possible, in order to close that gap. But it's been a positive weekend overall, I think. So on that, I'm happy that we've maximized our potential. Now we've got to have a better potential.
We heard about the lifting and coasting, which we know is a thing you're having to do. Is it only going to be a temporary problem? Is there something coming that will stop you having to do that and develop your race pace in that sense?
I really hope so. Today it was very tough for that. I had to do a lot of management, especially on the first stint, and it was not fitting my driving style, it was not fitting the balance that I had, and I was really, really struggling on that first stint and some part of the second stint as well. So, but it's the way we've got to run at the moment.
Just finally, listen, it looks like the constructors will go to McLaren and a McLaren driver will win the Drivers' Championship. how important is it for Ferrari to get in the mix for wins but by the end of this season? 2026 will be the priority, but must the team conjure a few wins by the end of the year?
I mean, it's always important, I think, just for the people back in Manuel, for the people at the track, for us drivers as well, to know that we can turn the situation around and be competitive again is very important for everyone. So it will be really nice. However, this season ends, as you said, I think it's going to be very unlikely to now turn the situation around at a point where we can win the constructors, because the point difference is very significant, and I don't see why McLaren will start doing a really bad job from now on. But we need to keep our head down, keep working very hard, and whatever we can still learn this season, we need to learn it.
Well done, Sean. Well, Fernando, it's nice to see you congratulating Gabriel on his first points. Well, you do that with new young drivers, a special moment for him. Did you enjoy the little battle you had out on track today?
Yeah, I know how important it was for him, what this point means to him. You know, I think he has been outstanding this season, and for one reason or another, Hülkenberg was always scoring the points on Sunday, and he felt a little bit unfair sometimes, that he cannot, see his name with points already with the performance that he was achieving. So, I'm happy for him that he unlocked this situation now, and he can have fun, and hopefully the first of many in the points. And at the end, he was definitely faster than me, but I was extremely lucky with Lando coming. Lando came in the right moment. We had the blue flag, so Gabriel has to let Lando go. And then because Lando overtook us, we saw the checkered flag. It was not one lap left. It was just already the final lap of the race. So all in all, it was a perfect combo for me.
Congratulations, you're driver of the day. We saw Fernando.
Am I driver of the day?
I believe so, yes. Driver of the day,
nice.
yes. And we saw Fernando congratulate you at the end. It's a special moment, first points for you. What are your emotions right now?
Wow, so many, I'm glad to be in the points for the first time. Had an amazing fight with Fernando at the end. I think it couldn't be better to get my first points fighting with him. Unfortunately, didn't manage to overtake him, but was very close.
Yeah, and it's come off the back of an excellent overall weekend. Have things sort of clicked for you, do you sense, since you've come here? I mean, I know you've been always good on this track, but I mean...
Yeah, I would say it's just getting a bit more experience, It's a natural process of Formula One. Well, at least for myself, I have been always like this, I jump in a new series. F3 for me has been dominating from the beginning, but F2, I had a tough start of season, and I've been growing up like a lot during the season, and I managed to win. And in F1, I feel like I'm doing this more or less the same as in F2, and growing through the season, learning a lot of things. And obviously, there is so much things to still improve from my side, and I feel like there is a long journey ahead of me.
Just finally, we weren't so long ago, we were talking about Sauber as a team in a bit of trouble. You seem to have real momentum now. It's a double points finish. How good can the second half of this season be?
I think hopefully we can be fighting for example, what we have been fighting today. It's been great, and I feel like if the team keeps doing the job they have been doing this weekend, we can achieve big things.
Well done.